If Zelina Vega being fired wasn't bad enough for me, I decided to watch Smackdown, which was unfortunately real shit. Because, Smackdown being one of the most consistent shows throughout this year. It wasn't great, but it was good or just average okay. Most of the times, from time to times, it was decent. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. Straight away, Logic decided to go and get the fuck out of here because Drew McIntyre decided to come out and confront Roman Reigns, saying that the ratings are so low they're gonna use any cheap pop to get the viewership up. So hey, be excited for Monday Night Raw and please check out because we're gonna have a WWE title match. Anything can happen. We might see a title change. So please, for the love of God, tune into the show. We've seen some incredibly disappointing stuff like Sami Zayn versus Apollo Crews. On paper should be a great match because Apollo Crews been built so good. He was doing such a great stuff with the United States belt on Raw. And what do you think? 2 minutes. Sami Zayn won by countdown because he tied Apollo Crews' leg to a ring. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Then, how about Sasha Banks cutting a promo? Okay, should be good. The promo was basically saying that, hey, I did it. I retained the title, the thing that you guys and commenters should have put over so massively last week, and you didn't do this while I was fighting against Bailey? Yeah, this one. I actually did it for the first time in my career. But then Bailey comes out to confront her, and then she immediately disappears because Carmella attacks Sasha Banks from behind. What? I mean, I understand what you're trying to do. You want to build Carmella versus Sasha Banks, even though nobody gives a shit because this new character of Carmella so far is exactly the same that she had before, only instead of wearing, Jordan's type of fucking boots or some tiger-esque pants, wearing everything red. Great character work, great gimmick change. I really like, and the fact that fucking Bailey disappeared and didn't even attack Bailey or Carmella. Touch of God. Great booking decision. Just fucking incredible. As good as it is, as fucking next match. Otis versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler that happened because while Otis was fucking eating, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler said something mean to him. That's why this match happened. I mean, am I watching some fucking Child's Play or fucking TV show on Fox Channel? What the fuck is this nonsense? I am so fucking done. But you know what? There is one thing I wish I was done with, and I wish WWE were done with as well. Rey Mysterio Seth Rollins feud that you would have thought came to an end on this episode of SmackDown because they had a no holds bar match which was relatively fun and in which you wouldn't expect this, but Murphy actually turned on Seth Rollins in the dumbest way possible. Why? Well, because Murphy decided to wait until the last portion of the match when Seth Rollins gets a chair, tries to gouge an eye of Rey Mysterio once again. Dominic tries to help his father once again, get his ass beaten once again, and then Murphy knees Seth Rollins right into his face, right in the position for 619 for a victory of Rey Mysterio. It was so anticlimactic if that was the end of the story, and it was so shit, but you know what? I would have been done with this fucking rivalry for good. But next week we're gonna have a match between Murphy and Seth Rollins. Oh, I'm so fucking done. This rivalry somehow still continues because after the match, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio shook a hand of Murphy and they all hugged, and that's a happy end. And nobody came out over after the segment. Literally. The match was fun, but the ending killed it. Like Rey Mysterio is is fucking useless. He needs help to win against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is fucking stupid for trusting Murphy, who just said, "You are Messiah, I am a disciple." Like, that's it. That everything that changed, and yeah, he helped him out to qualify for Survivor Series match, but still, it's so shit. Murphy is a fucking idiot because instead of attacking him straight away in a no holds bar match, may I remind you, he waited until the last portion of the match to go and attack him when it was nearly too late for Rey Mysterio. Why the fuck? Then, finally, you would assume something good happened with Natalia facing against Liv Morgan, Tamina, and Chelsea Green, her debut on SmackDown after she was doing absolutely fuck all since May this year. It was the last match she had, and since she'd been called up to the main roster for God knows how long, she finally gets a match, and she barely was on this match. You wonder why? Well, unfortunately, she got an injury. She's out for, it seems like, for 3 months. She broke her left wrist, the same injury that she suffered on the main role on NXT when she debuted there. And I'm afraid it might be the end of her career in WWE. In a way, you know how much Vince and the higher ups of WWE love to give this label of injury prone to anyone who will ever get injured, especially in a position like this. If that's a title match, if that's a title shot, or if that's a qualifier for something. You, in your first attempt, fell miserably with an injury. You are out of every single plan for good. Maybe you're gonna be in the mid card, fucking either facing against Lacey Evans, either teaming with Lacey Evans, trying to get the tag team belts. That's her future, in my opinion, and I hope I'm wrong because she's such a great wrestler, and I wish her all the best in her recovery, a speedy recovery, and I wish her all the best in her future because she's gonna need a lot of luck. And then we had a main event, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Logic, as we already discovered, decided and go take a shot right into the head because why the fuck would I care about one time a year where Raw superstars fight against SmackDown superstars? Yeah, nobody gives a shit. They think we're that dumb. And you know what? I'd rather be that dumb than actually go and use my brain while watching WWE any show. It's just. And yeah, may I remind you, it was an unsanctioned match where they had a countdown and a rope break. Ah, I think you meant this match will be a false advertisement match rather than an unsanctioned match. That's a correction that you needed. It was a fun match with a good sequence at the end where Roman Reigns pulled off Jey Uso while he was in control, told him to make Drew McIntyre see what he's seen, and Jey just full on attacked him with fucking fists, just beating him up. And Drew McIntyre totally non-sold it and just goes straight for a Claymore and ended the match with a stare down after this against Roman Reigns. You know, this was the only good stuff on fucking Raw. This match and somewhat of Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio match because you can't go wrong with it unless it's been a feud that go on for like 6 months or 7 months and that should have been ended for about 3 months ago. Overall, a really shitty edition of SmackDown. I wish I've never seen it. I wish we're gonna get ourselves something different next week, something good next week. But my hopes are not relatively high. But thank you guys for listening. And as always, hear you soon.